Alright, back here. Time to finish off this side story. I'm sure it'll go great, and I'm sure nothing bad happens. We already got through, like, the worst of it, I think. You know, like, Matthias, you know, doing his thing, and, you know. Okay, and that's a wrap for the Middles Corridor. I forgot this was the... Thanks to you folks, we managed to cut the door catalog workload by 80%. Really appreciate everyone going the extra mile to check each and every door, too. Made my life a whole lot easier. It's all thanks to the manager's excellent strategization. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up, the Thumbs Corridor. But we actually found a lot of intel lying around there, so we just need you to check some of the doors in its basement. Alright? Intel. The manager expressed interest in the aforementioned intel. That in the Thumbs Corridor, we came across a bundle of papers detailing the comings and goings of the Thumb members and the orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the logs has been diligently keeping them up to date. The last entry was written not so long ago. Oh. While the contents of the notes weren't all that interesting, they helped us get an idea where each door in that corridor leads to. Okay, well that's useful. Valencia's shitty scrap papers. She's been keeping up with that useless shit this whole time. I feel like it's gotta be textbook. Useless shit. Remnants of her desperate search for a thread to cling to. You found one of her backup ticket hoards. I've marked any doors that need work with a drone. There should be about 3 or 4 of them while you guys do that. I've got some leftover work to take care of over here. So, you can get on with it. I've been noticing this throughout our interactions. But whenever anything irrelevant to his work came up, Alan seems to have a way of unhearing and maneuvering right past it as though he didn't even register what was said. You know, that's honestly a great skill to have in the workforce. Recalling a conversation with, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Back at P Corp, the deeply uncurious indifference might just be a central personality trait to go on as a corporate employee in the city. It is. It's important in real life. It's important in the game. Understood, we will explore the areas past the park's doors. Thanks a ton. Well then, get out. Alan returning to where the other Wayfarer Company employees were huddled around. We decided to follow the corridor to the left. Hey, there's someone in there. More of the ring, maybe. Going by their silhouettes, they're unlikely to be members of the ring. Come on, lady, get out of my way so I can see. Oh, it's the detective. Some stubbly guy I don't know, and that annoying airy dude. Sounds like Moses, Gregor, and Hong Lu, respectively. The trio's conversation grew clearer the closer I approached them. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Haha, fine as a fiddle. It was just a minor fall. This is the 3rd time it's occurred. Oh. We ought to discuss this issue with the manager once this consolation is over. I think I'm seeing a bump on the side of Hung Lu's head. That's because it keeps summoning him. Anyway, you know what to do, right? If at any moment you see signs of... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explanation and the footage both. You're going to be fine again. I believe in you. Look at you now, right where it happened, but your arm is stable, see? I don't... Ironically, fear tends to grow most unmitigated when it's distant and unseen. I understand that you might be worried about, but what you might be worried about, but I don't see even the slightest proponents of it. So don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise while you're in here. Okay, I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm still having a hard time believing it. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just avoiding the truth when it's staring me right in the face. My case is nothing like Don Quixote's. She just needs to keep her shoes on and it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way for me. Whatever they're talking about sounds hella deep to you guys. You sure about eavesdropping on him like this? Yeah. That geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him. He's sharing such an IS about himself for once. Why walk away? Don Quixote gives a nonsensical interpretation of Ryoshu's academics. Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering senators and Kira, however, Otis stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her face. She's listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor like a woman possessed. Well, yeah, it's the other two Smoke War veterans. Okay, let's keep listening then. Otis was right, damn it. She was right all along. The war never ended. The war isn't over. It never was. And it can't ever be over as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully, it's become easier to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight just fine so far. How? Don't mind fighting hostiles or enemies. I'm not that kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. Oh yeah? Thanks, Gregor. But killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? Can't even control it. There's nothing I can do to even brace for it. It's unstoppable. It's some kind of time bomb counting down to unleash a disease you'd never know when its symptoms will set off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people begin to sprout into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawn a hard, straight line. Besides, Gregor wasn't wrong in that. At present, there wasn't any way to stop his transformation should it occur again. What do you mean? I mean, Virgilius seems like he could do it. We've still got a good chunk of the journey left, and eventually we'll have to... No matter what lurks in the past of us sinners... This is from Canto 7, by the way. Even if they've killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will you still embrace them? We know you committed a war crime. We'll eventually have to cry an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under the inevitable pressure? Yeah, I believe in him. I see you're afraid of, and you'll end up hurting us. Well, that's at first. I thought I couldn't give a hoot whether or not I accidentally murdered someone, some of you. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Honglu. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off to a rocking good start. But through our journey, I began to think of you all as my comrades, and I was okay with that because I had too much faith in my own weakness. When I realized that I'd grown so weak that I couldn't even take down some backstreet thug with this arm, I was relieved. Imagine that. The same arm, my arm, a weapon that stabbed the heart out of countless people during the Smoke War. I'll be honest, when that Hoffenheim fella said that I was an exception, the thought alone made me hope. Exception, a potential to be harmless, weaker than even a non-combatant like you saying. It made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know how that went though, don't we? Blew up in the worst possible way. Hey look, it's Lucio! And after all that, I just couldn't bring myself to fight again. Because I no longer know when this fear would eat me up again. Because I'm constantly afraid of this damn gift manifesting again. Man, Herman gave him such a great birthday present. The same fear you've carried all this time. Honestly, 10 out of 10, Mother of the Year. How did you endure it before? Badly, barely. Holding on to the idea that living's gotta live on. Nothing else. Ha. Slowly brings me back years. The memories are so clear that it's like they all happened yesterday. Are we gonna see his office life? Best you kick me off the bus before push comes to... That can't be the answer, Gregor. We just did my canto. You can walk away, but the danger of our journey will leave with you. Dante and the rest of us will be facing an endless repeat of peril. This is true, Gregor. And you have some pre-clutch IDs. We kind of need you. And it's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur, even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same cannot be said for most people in the city. Sun Tzu once said, "Now that's something I never expected to hear from you." That's right, he gave his answer, and he didn't need Kong Ki to beat him. I guess you're right. If we're seeing this through to any kind of end, this would be the place to do so. Not many places in the city have some worth to them like this one does. Boy, this consultation thing's pretty embarrassing. Glad no one else is around to hear it. I mean, it's not like I was forced to go through something as traumatizing as yours, Hoglu. I don't know, Gregor. Yours was pretty bad. Truth be told, Russell's special case, everyone who participated in that war must have gone through more or less the same experience. Ms. Moses, Otis, and even Valencia, that piece of work. We cannot attach a number to our misfortunes, as if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my eyes from it. But you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from the past, you come to a pause to spare a look towards the path you would walk. All those years I let slip by, all those that slipped you by, are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, there's one thing common to everyone, is that trauma leaves after effects that linger for a long time. Yeah, Otis, what's your therapy session? What are yours? I dislike loud noises and people who talk too much. I sound too much like the canopy of the war, like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying and their wounds left in my heart bled me dry. But I thought you were fond of Biz Ezra, Ms. Moses. I've talked too much. That aside, haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come out from that corner you're hiding in. Aw, man, they knew we've been dropping Eve this whole time. I was actually waiting for just the right time to come out and say a few words, but I couldn't find an appropriate moment to. Okay, Dante, let's not gas ourselves up here. Well, I would have had to share this with Manager Bud or the rest of you fellas sooner or later. So I don't really mind, but what's she doing here? TA? Temporary ally. No, temporary accompaniment. Don't be an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Whew. Please make your acquaintance. You're right on time. Yeah? What's wrong? I've been working on a theory, but I don't have all the clues to be absolutely certain. A word from someone in the know may immensely improve my confidence in the theory. Yeah? Kira, do you know which door the Thumbner's father was most attached to? Nah, duh. No, duh. That's supposed to be obvious. Didn't you guys all see her? You think I'd chat up a scary lady like that? Dude, she was beating the ever-loving shit out of Lucio every time I saw them together. Oh yeah, he went down fighting you guys to the end, huh? Yeah, said stuff about her generosity and all that, and fought till he died. Damn, that's unexpected. Being real for a sec here, I thought he was totally gonna swap sides. Really? That lad? Why is that? You know, the vibes. You guys don't know because you haven't seen him long without the scary lady always looming over him. Ooh. What's up? Gonna stab her right in the spine? You! Look, I think you might be training wrong because, like, you're not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about sword swinging from this comic book. That is not how my master has instructed me. The textbook cannot be permitted to have even a single deviation if it means to repay the debt it owes her. Why are you so obsessed with all that crap anyway? You don't even like that old lady. But you're not so different from me in that regard, are you? Bro, the heck you talking about? I love my papa. Seriously. Things are gonna crash and burn before Yoshida even came home. Suppose textbook and I had that in common. And this one doesn't know. Let me just redirect that question towards you, said Ryoshu. Hopefully, this touches upon one of your more intact memories. You know which of these doors thumb nurse father showed particular attachment to, or door she used the most often? Why ask me? Fine, yes, I do remember. Don't even need clock's help to piece it back together. It's that one. Assuming it's the only door left standing. A door with metal pieces dangling from it. Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, a fucking fly. Where do those G-Corp fucks even drag those gross pests from? Dang. Yo, Mom, are you okay? Do I look okay to you, Ticket? No, not really. Huh. I'm fine, you know I don't break easy. You should have been there to see me tear the heads off that G-Corp vermin, Ticket. But Mom, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, they really can't do shit without me, huh? So much for a break. Fuck is this? Bandages for you. Is this kid serious? They got truckloads of expensive treatments on the ready to patch me up the moment I get back to the field. Well, okay, never mind that. Hey, this works. Sit tight and don't start in trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques once I'm back. Must have been her years in the Smoke Wars. Yep. Fighting in the war took a lot out of her, left her perpetually exhausted. Also, she was the overworker. But she marched to every battle with a smile. Stop drinking, stop beating me too. Like a blissful idiot who forgot that she was still neck deep in the inescapable pit called the House of Spiders. Well, the ironic peace didn't last long. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consigliere of the Thumb visited the House of Spiders as a tutor. And that's when she went right back to drinking herself into a shit-faced stupor day after day. Beatings returned, and so did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on, why though? Sure, I was on the losing side. But wasn't Valencia on the winning side? A war hero at that. Ever heard of the regulation that prevents Smoke Corp participants from moving into I-Corp and K-Corp nest? Common thread between these post-war rules is that they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. I see, there must have been things going on behind the scenes there too. But doesn't that mean that back door will drop us into a trench they dug during the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Yes! Wait, me? Yes, others can do it for you, but what would be the point? You sure this won't end up giving me more nightmares? I don't see how this helps in any way. We don't have any means to treat whatever it is that slumbers within his arm. However, I would summarize that the underlying cause of its sudden transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past. It's the other way around, isn't that so? If you can come to understand that the war is really over, and that what others say, no matter how closely they echo in the past, is not necessarily aimed at you, then you may be able to loosen your grip on the fear and anxiety that your arm could metamorphose at any moment. While her suggestion may seem blunt, it is one of the basic treatment principles of M-Corp's psychotherapy centers. Fine then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grabbed its handle, then paused, taking slow, deep breaths. And with one arm, he gently opened the door. Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with our G-Corp banner held high. Toma, I don't want to die. Please. Chuckles, it's nice to have a place to go back to. Can we get a Herman? Oh, there it is. All right, happy 15th birthday. But you can't possibly have the cheek to call me cruel. You G-Corp pests were far more messed up than I ever was. Ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You were nothing but a swarm of fucked up monsters. Thought I'd woken up from the dream. But I was still... I'm going to respond to a friend real quick. Ooh, a fight. Now I did get Bear Soul, but I do not think I have enough of anything to level him to max. I do not. I am currently broke, so he will not be getting used. He's being deployed. Technically, we can go in. All right, fine. He's getting dropped.
책임은 모두
Bring this
내가
instead.
진다.
문을 열 줄이야.
내가
H사와 8구의 안내는
시선.
교류회. 설레네요.
This place. It's just a boring old office. I was kind of ready to be shook, thinking we were about to walk into a war zone or something. You recognize this place? Ha, of course I do. My last job before Limbus Company. Ah. I mean, desk goes over there. Here's a tip, fellas. When you're working in an office like this, always get a corner desk facing the wall if you can. If you can help it. Let you hide it from the boss, man. Out of sight, out of mind, you know? You can do whatever you want that way. Work, chill, or even freak out in terror at the slightest sound of metal clinking. Nobody will catch you. Nobody will think you're a bother to other people. Gerd Grimm's a bitter, mocking smile directed at himself. The only downside of this desk arrangement being people walking up behind me to get my attention. Higher-ups just had to holler, "Hey, vet hire," and I'd scuttle right up to them, but others can't do that. So whenever people walked up to me from behind, I get afraid that I might cause an accident. Vet hire must be about the post-war veteran special employment. Right, but I couldn't possibly complain. Wouldn't have gotten that job without it, you know? Not everyone was lucky enough to be considered for that. I was better off than most. Gregor? Oh, head manager Ted? Gregor whipped around, his hand instinctively leaping to his other arm. There's an unfamiliar man in a clean suit standing behind us. It really is you, Gregor. I see some new faces with you. Oh wait, you folks must be the account that the guy on the other team stacks us to leave the meeting room open for. And then a new job, huh? I see you've got a new employee card right there. Well, so how have you been doing? Me? Same old, same old. Well enough. It's not like I've got anywhere else to go, right? I'm not surprised you found a new work so soon. You were always a dependable guy. Is the pay good? How's life, man? Oh yeah, you were gonna sell that commemorative coin, some kind of metal, right? Hope you got paid good money for that. Look at me asking how's life to a fellow citizen. Can't imagine anybody would have anything good to say to that, huh? Tisk, moving on. Hope no one's hounding you with the vet hire shit over there. No, not at all. None of that here. Ha! That's good to hear. Hey, man. Man, glad you don't have to deal with that dang jackass of an executive VP messing with you like he was a war veteran himself. You know how many years I had to hear that geezer bragging about how he profiteered from the war, pulling himself up by his bootstraps about how in every peril is an opportunity waiting to be found, blah, blah, blah. I'm preaching to the choir, aren't I? That guy, huh? He's still taking his sauna breaks during work hours? Huh, what do you think? His seat misses his ass every day. You know, I like Ted. I hope nothing bad happens to Ted. Ted seems pretty cool. Oh, and get this. Remember how he used to call you Special Employment Fellow Nepo Force a few days ago? His name showed up in the HR report. Guess what it said? Turns out he was lining his pocket with kickbacks when we were choosing the fixer office for a partnership project. There's about to be a vacancy in the office real soon. Really, isn't he, you know, an actual depot? Thought he was the president's family. Yeah, man, it's that bad. It's what anyone ever talks about by the water cooler. And the thing I learned here is that people obsessed with back in my day are all kind of like him. They hate how their glory days are behind them. Kind of like a distraction from how pathetic they are now. You know what? Ted seems like a great guy. Ted seems like he'd invite you over for free. And hey, Backstreet Kid like myself doesn't have glory days to look back on and yearn for, right? I look back and it's all doom and gloom, you know. If you've ever hit rock bottom, you also know the only way left is to go up. To go is up. You said something like that before, yeah. Yeah? Guess it's my brand of bullshit philosophy. I like Ted. Ted seems like great. Oh boy, look at me right in my mouth in front of our customers. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, don't worry about it. That's a pretty unique prosthetic you got there. No worries, but it seems that you were on your way to submit those proposals. Gee golly, I'm like, thank you for snapping me out of it. I'm gonna get one heck of a scolding. Anyway, Gregor, hit me up sometime, man. Let's go out and catch up over a drink or something. Sure, if I get the chance. Man, you seem like Gregor's former coworker. Hurried away, but he didn't forget to wave us a good-natured goodbye. I can see a little bit of him in the way you talk, Gregor. Man, Ted seems great. Come on, I don't sound as old as he does, do I? Moses, who had been quietly observing as Gregor and his former coworker chatted, exhaled a light stream of smoke and slowly began to speak. Many of us who returned from the war seem to suffer from a certain misconception. When we were told to remember, it does not mean we are bidden to live through the nightmares of the past over and over again. We are not being cursed to relive the pain and suffering in it. Both Ezra and I we're both still trying to free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. It's not like I remember because I want to. Well, if you can't bring yourself to forget them, might as well include in your memory the fact that the war has indeed ended. Fine. Smoke War 2! Smoke War 2! You're not wrong there. Something was stuck in my... I had to clear my throat for a second there. Kirk stayed his right arm for a while. Managed to can't give you any reassurance, but just going off my life seems to be the best answer for now. Smoke War 2. I want to ask if you're okay with that though. I'll manage, but you's going to have to deal with the aftermath. Yeah, don't worry, Gregor. Smoke War 2. Smoke War. I certain Sinclair. Smoke War 2. Gregor would be still live on. Just live on. Yet, even as his lips spoke those words, his eyes would take on a desperate, unfocused look, shaded beneath despair. Today, the gloomy gray seemed to give way to just a hint of the blue sky beyond. Wow, Manager Bud, you're getting really good at this. This may be no more than a single ray of sun peering through the dark clouds that have long suffocated the sky. It would probably take more than this for the shadows to be fully lifted, but I believe that Aang can save the world. Don't you worry, I'll be fine. It's a big step forward for him to have addressed even a little bit of that persistent anxiety from his past. Just want to say, by the way, I did a mirror dungeon run. I picked twinning threads because you could from the start, and like I know the index is here at some point. Wait, I don't think she followed us through the door. Huh? Were you here the entire time? Yes. I was told by the Allen figure that someone had to stay behind to watch the door during these operations. I don't remember him saying that. So I stayed and... Ah, man. It's those asshats again. Weird. Quarter's not a place for those newbies to be roaming around in on their own. As you can see, a few uninvited guests have decided to visit us through a different door. I look past Otis just in time to see more faucets pouring into the corridor through a different back door. Who has been trying to find a way to get to the ring nurse father's corridor. Well, we can't just let them through, can we? I know. Killed? Okay, Dante, whoa! I guess we don't need to do more to say anymore. We've pretty much gathered all the centers at this point. Who are we missing? Like, Marisol and, like, Rodian. He really bad. I remember people saying Dante. Like, man doesn't just often do that. I'm sorry, did she say bro seriously? I saw bro seriously back there.
위에서 당신을 관리자로 정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다. 죄인가?
Nurse father is a fraud? Question mark?
상황골 24개의 꼴이 자네는 야의 멜로디가
Nurse father's a fraud. Corpus movement in shambles. Pointless takeover. That's what it's looking like to me right now.
감상은 어떤가요?
This was the first time I've ever heard that.
흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
감상은 어떤가?
I have a guy, my friend who was going through Canto 8 is now in Canto 9, and
he hates the Fey Lantern. I'm about to tell him they had to buff all the old bosses.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Although, he may not know it's an old boss, because I don't know if he's done a mirror dungeon run yet. I know what you're thinking. He's at Kanto 9 and hasn't done a mirror dungeon run. He says he's just still like figuring it out right now. So, the last I heard from him about it. So,
저희 영감을 도와주시는군요.
you know, maybe at some point he'll decide to lock in and do some mirror dungeons. But at the moment, it doesn't happen.
신체파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이랍니다.
Oh, he's just sent me a message. Sinclair is dying for the cause. I think he is still running in Corpse Sinclair, by the way. One of his favorite IDs. Run that thing since he got it in like Kanto 1. He also got Harmony from the latest Lost Verdict's Night. He got it. So he's been running that vignette. He also got both the Ryoshu and the Nurse Soul items. So like those two plus Harmony plus In-Corp Sinclair plus like backup units. Man has been posted. Alright, posted. He still got hit by some of the walls though. He was not free from all the walls.
네, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 13조 이상의 맞추기는 그게 체격이지.
Let's just give the thumb Nurse Father Steve. At least the thumb Steve instead of the ring. One guy with 70. Annihilate him. Yeah. Hyper up. For one tap. Bam.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가. 이제 싸게 치워불고 들어가자.
He's just typed to me after Sinclair's dying for the cause. Fell bullet has worked. I think I know what happened. Hey, I think I know what has happened to Sinclair.
지금
제 작품이 많이 he got turned into fell bullet fodder. He recently got the Nurse Father, Ring Nurse Father, and he has the fell bullet ID. Ego. So the ID ego. So I think I know what happened to Sinclair. Sinclair got low, and the rest is history. Once we dealt with the Faustist, who invaded the Thumb Nurse Father's destroyed quarter, we left for the Index. We're just venturing around and ran into a few familiar faces waiting for us at our destination. They got sick and tired of getting summoned. Huh? Don't you guys have today off? No, they don't, Dante. Yeah, but I thought I might as well come along. You guys can just say, like, it's, you know, you keep summoning us while we're in the middle of something, so I decided that it might actually be more convenient for us to be with you here in person. You summoning occurred at the most unideal moment. Nah, no, you were doing it on purpose. But all 3 times you summoned me, I was leaning over snacks topped with a bunch of whipped cream. Today I learned that blacking out and waking up to a me-shaped infant and a cake I was about to chow down on doesn't make for a very relaxing break. Sorry about that. I should have checked in with you guys before summoning, but I'm still getting used to it. Okay, now you're being too sorry. No hard feelings here, you know. No, I think this is appropriate. Yo, get on him. I'm tagging along because I need some exercise, that's all. I'm recently amped up because I started doing the Nikkei story, and I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you could share any information you have yet about the quarter, I got here all the time, so I know this place a little. You hung out here? There's this super clingy, annoying little... no, that wasn't the mask dude. There was this one, there was this other, Is there something you don't remember? Oh, right. Kira probably doesn't remember Sora. Who? Sora? I don't think that name rings any bells for us either. That's someone who used to live here? Yeah, well, Sora was the Index apprentice, so she probably lived here. Forsooth, the Index apprentice. Ho, pray tell. Wherefore is that the middle, the thumb, and the ring each have appendage, yet the index and the pinky lack them. It would be quite odd if a mere 3 of the 5 fingers kept an apprentice each. Retrace my recollections, yet I find it following a trail of odorless air, invisible and unreal. No, there was someone, but I can't. The representation of the pinky and the index apprentices are missing. Now, to be more precise, a merciless blade has shredded and reduced them to intangible formlessness. How refreshing to hear that same impression from someone else rather than myself for once. As it seems that I am the only one who remembered the 2 apprentices, I retraced back to our first meeting and briefly shared what I knew about Sora. Huh? She doesn't sound like a very forgettable character. Well, the Arashika cut her into ribbons. That would explain why it feels as though I'm recalling a sequence of events with a critical part missing in between. I can almost imagine her giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably wears glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy introvert ones from anime. I see, so that's why it feels like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Ryoji? They say the world's made of strings or threads caught. With every slash, this blade would be cutting through the flow of strands that twine to compose one's existence. Okay, makes sense. When an object is seared forever beyond repair, you think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But now that you've pieced some of it together, it's almost... Instead of elaborating further, Hiroshi fell silent again, save for the sound of the tip of her cigarette turning to ash, like she was recalling another incomplete memory. I guess she's trying to avoid over-speculating on what she doesn't know for sure. Damn, that totally breaks the meta. I have a vague idea how it works, but this is the first time I'm hearing the deets. Papa had to go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove seals to like even make a full use of his sword. Honestly, yours needs a trade-off. Your sword's totally power creep. So true. Guess slicing your memories away is one hell of a trade-off. Sorry. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't have anything to contribute for this corridor. I've got one. I don't know where it leads, but the index guy used it all the time. Hopefully it doesn't drop us into an army of indexes. They rarely gather in big groups. She said that's pretty unlikely. Wow, what was that for, Ryoshi? What did you just hit me with that sword handle? I didn't do anything. But I saw it. I saw Ryoshi's scabbard. Arya suddenly jerked to the side, prodding Sakura like he was annoyed by something. I won't STS, I'll SYLC until you can barely walk. I swear this isn't a slander or whatever. Look, you poked me so hard it left a mark on my arm. Here. Well, I don't want to read too much into it, but the scabbard was rattling like it was irritated by something. Stop interpreting for her. This is why she won't stop making up those nonsense acronyms. He's making it worse. I gotta stop him from translating for her somehow. Arya. Wait, that voice just now sounded a lot like Arya's. Dante, you saw that too, right? Ryoshi didn't do anything. Wait, really? It really wasn't her? Nope. Dennis decided. To be fair to Sinclair, no one else but I saw in full detail how the scabbard came to be. Which means that he couldn't imagine in his wildest dreams that the scabbard poked him of its own volition. It doesn't seem like any of the sitters heard that voice either. Oh, good. Damn, you guys bully him a lot, huh? Thank you! She's on the bit! Well, Lad's been long overdue for a little smack upside his noggin. She's on the bit! We should head inside. Let's not keep Alan waiting. She's in on the bit. She's in on the bit. Kira directed us towards a disturbing normal wooden door, so featureless that I could have mistaken it for any of the dozen doors we've walked past in other nests. We were greeted by a whiff of stale, musty air the moment we walked through the door. Oh. I think this leads to a basement. Oh, he's got canned food over there, and emerged what appeared to be almost a dungeon-like basement area. Whenever the masked Unk beeper rang, he'd walk through this door. So who are they? The Index. Signs of life. There were people living down here up until just a few hours ago. Why are you here, paper slips? We were only executing the prescript. I've had it with these prescripts, though at least yours don't make annoying beeps. Oh, hold on. I was typing to someone. The basement was stocked up with shelf, stable, and non-perishable food. The cells were all completely empty, save for like a makeshift bathroom in each of them. It's likely that the dungeon was used to imprison individuals of varying features that may be required to complete a prescript. Seriously? The room seems to be used for something worse than simple incarceration. Among Foss' conjectures is that the captives were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Sounds like that guy was just as crazy as the rest of them. Wait. That staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's incorrect. Friggin' annoying, man. What are you doing? You cannot enter through this door. Oh, I see. Another griefer body blocking in the doorway. Door's stuck! Get out of my way, son! Move. I need to see something. The will of prescripts forbids you. You cannot enter through this door. What do? We beat them. Is it worth forcing our way in there? They seem pretty adamant about not letting us in. I prefer if we stayed as far away as possible from anything that has to do with the gods. I mean, prescripts, but nothing in this basement gives me any indication as to where the door connects to. Otis is right. We're gonna have to get upstairs somehow if we want to get an idea of where this door leads. Ryan's been using this basement then. Rain. I just see goes upstairs. Honestly, learning that this door connects to some basement is more than enough intel to cross it off the list. Still, if this has anything to do with Ryoshu's memories. Alright, then let's push through. Is this lead to his LARPer bedroom? Executing your command, executive manager. Does this lead to his LARPer bedroom? The will of the prescripts is absolute. Is it though? I was really hoping he'd respond. Yes.
단순해서도 9번 수감자.
I'm gonna change the team tab.
물론
Well,
좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고
인간!
걸 준비하지.
yo, nurse father, beat this prescript. Like, oh my goodness.
한 쌍의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 TBI의 멜로디가
Who's the index target? I didn't pick it. Could have been anyone. Oh my goodness.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
I found the pre-script target. Yo, this is a chain battle. That's what I thought it was.
따뜻한 엎드리다.
예술적이야. 이번에는
No, it's not a chain battle.
자들 더 생각이 있으면 허접한 것들을 갖다 내진 않았겠지.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
Oh my.
아이씨,
goodness.
짜증나게.
We should hit like a critical mass point.
나쁘지 않아.
이 정도쯤은
보여드려야겠군요. 왜냐하면 예술을
쓰러졌다고 죄의 대가를 치르지 않을 거라 생각했대. 오산이라 말해주고 싶어.
People targeting this. Thank you. And we don't need 4 people targeting this skill.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
Had less SP than her, and
짜증나게.
she lost. God, I didn't know she was gonna kill her.
이제야 친해졌네요.
Alright, forget I asked. Forget I asked.
꿰뚫려라.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
그림은 완성됐다. 빠르게 치라고.
배전병같이 무릎을 꿇고 있을 때인가 13번 수감자. 평소처럼 넉살 좋게 같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
No, we might actually.
감상은 어떤가요?
I'm seeing like 50 to 30 and like another 30. I've only hung we rolled with S3 and Clash.
글쓰지 가져갈래요.
바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩. 임파스터. 전부 이겨서 썰어버려도
싸울 생각도
상관없지.
없는 놈한테 칼려는 건 재미가 없네.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
이리게 하기는 하겠다는.
해장 시간이 되었다. 그럼 안녕히.
항상 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
제가 괜히 먹을 것들을 사들고 오는 것이 아닙니다, 단테. 이런 부수적인
Put you
효과를
on it. Put you on it.
기대했었죠.
Listen, put everyone on it except for one person. Put everyone on it because Kira is just gonna kill him. Never mind, she's using a counter. Never mind, she will not fight.
인간.
Never mind. She actually won't do that.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
산초류 경혈고 라샹.
그간의 전투 경험이
놀만치 노른 것 같은 게
단테.
이제 싸게 치어불고 들어가자.
적합한 조치였습니다.
고생들이었다.
What's up there? You may speak casually to me. You may speak casually, Arya, but in the presence of the other apprentices, perhaps you should find it preferable to mimic the tone of the Dayu Star. Come on, it's not like I want it to be the Dayu Star. Just let me do whatever I want while I'm here. Certainly, you have a point. So what's up there? Up those stairs. I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Actually, I'm a little curious. Why bother peeling back the heavens to see what is beyond? Those wanting of yearning needn't raise their heads skywards. Am I seeing Arya's memories? Clock, what did you see? I'm not sure, but now we got another reason to check out stairs. I just realized that was after combat. They haven't been doing many of those.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세
Oh,
가지
okay, we're just
작품을
fighting
뜻하죠.
every time now.
비록
More index,
지금 제
guys.
작품이
Also,
만인의 신금을
switch the
울리지는
team back up.
못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을
네,
드디어 내
나를 점 찍었다면 책임은 못.
문을 열 시간인가?
H사와 89의 안내는
There you go.
전원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
단순해서 좋군. 9번 수감자.
영감이 떠올랐다.
나가서
좋은
싸워.
성과를 갖고 돌아온
뒤내가
Ding ding.
달고 짭짤한 준비해주지.
목이 피었잖아.
Black family. I had mentioned it earlier, but I'm mentioning it now.
40. 먹지.
What you lost?
짜증나게. 잘라. 바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩.
Should we pop that
이
tongue?
기회에 평소 지휘 실력을 확인해보죠, 단테. 하던 대로 해보십시오.
But she's not gonna clash. She's actually just gonna dodge the entire time.
갑니다.
마지막으로 남길 말.
남았어도 이 정도쯤은. 왜? 좀 긁혔어? 아이씨, 짜증나게.
The Battle of Mid over here.
적의 팔다리를 끊었군. 이제 전력으로 쳐라.
Sometimes they ask me, they say, alright. They're doing like nothing. And they're correct.
뭐 쳐지게!
어중간한 예술. 아이씨, 짜증나게.
Eclipse does not have enough to start hitting the counter. How have I never heard that, like, that sound?
놈의 죽음으로
Now I've heard it multiple
끝내기
times. Okay, whatever.
얼굴 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 쳐야
그걸로
한다.
내가 봐주지.
퇴장 시간이 되었다.
He usually does that.
그럼 안녕히.
항상
그래.
저희
그렇게
영감을
시원하게
일깨워
처리하니
주시는군요.
보는 맛이 나는군.
이제 그것이 굉장히 가졌어요. 별로 어려울 거 없잖아요.
저것들 전부 녹여서
Okay, everyone, I love the
상관없지?
enthusiasm. All hit the same guy. Gonna have to cancel the plan. I know, everyone was really excited about it. I know. You're gonna tell me.
점 찍었네.
Well, we have to spread out my damage. We do have a timetable to keep. Also, he's made two of those things in the back down here now.
이제야 완성되었네.
이 정도로 나와 겁을 맞대?
He flipped with the no speed.
자가당차기로다. 흔치 않은 기회니 이 틈에 승기를 붙이자꾸나.
갑니다.
왜? 좀 긁혔어?
파우스트, 신체 파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이랍니다.
그간의 전투 경험
Gonna dismount. He's gonna dismount this time.
이 정도로 나와 겁을
보여드려야겠다.
I knew it.
왜냐면 예술을.
놀만치 노른 것 같은 게. 이제 싸게 치어불고 들어가자.
Time for her to get back in the Iron Maiden.
고생들였다.
Kind of a letdown when they were blocking the door like some big secret behind it. It's the ultimate LARPer room. Looks like any old other average family home. Oh man, I get cleaning up's a chore, but peeps should at least dust their home once in a while. That seems like not what she would say. The declare that's covering every searches of the blotchy wallpaper made it clear that no one's been living here for a good while. Whichever family lived here must have had a child. Look, there are drawings and dolls too. Though it seems like the place has been abandoned for quite a long time. Is this his home with his wife? Could something bad have happened in here? And something must have happened in there. That caused the family to flee and they never got to return. Yep, lots of evidence suggesting that. Open door, single shoe just lying around. Someone fled from home for unforeseen reasons. I don't know, it's kind of hard to narrow down the cause. It really could have been anything. Are you sure you something in particular, Ryoshu? Ryoshu. Every framed photo is singed beyond recognition, and whatever documents there were have been torn to shreds. Kind of like my memories. Haha. You can make jokes. You still got this. So this wasn't where he escaped to, huh? The next nurse brother. Last time we saw him, he fled the house via the corridor after suffering a severe wound. If by some miracle he survived, there's a chance he'd come after Ryoshu again, but something about our last encounter led me to believe that it was the last time Ryoshu would ever see him. This is, do you recognize this drawing? The waves! The waves! I found myself hoping to see Ryoshu piece together another memory. She'd been recalling new details all day whenever something caught her attention. Sadly, she reported by softly shaking her head. No. I don't. The waves! They were lonely.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠. 비록 지금 제 작품이 만인의 심금을 울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을.
이거 참 설레는구려.
He just keeps doing that in the background. After leaving Ryan's quarters, we explored the index corridor for a while. So let's see, we've gone to the ring, the middle, thumb, and the index. So we're still not in the pinky, if we even end up in the pinky. And yeah, so I guess maybe the pinky's last. I don't know. For a while. Oh man, we're here! But didn't find anything that can help piece Ryoshu's memories back together. Great work. Now that just leaves the pinkies and there's father's corridor. But that room didn't have any back doors for us to explore. There were countless more in the adjacent corridor, but our guideline makes it a bit difficult to delve into each and every one. One of them right away. Okay. Which means that our work here is done. Thank you for your assistance, Dante. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, dab me up. And actually, don't dab me up. I remember what you did to Kira. Never mind. Do not dab me up. I do not want your hands on mine. Dante replies, they're happy for your assistance. Well, then it's been a pleasure. After a brief round of handshakes, Alan returned to the forward base. Everyone wash your hands after touching his. I don't trust him. We probably should have done the same, but want to take a look around here anyway? I'm gonna be nosy? Sure. Since we had more business here than simply checking the doors, we decided to stay a little longer and investigate the Pinky's corridor. The Pinky Nurse Father room had a peculiar structure. Each door was led to a room identical in shape to the previous one. And even though I was certain we traversed through quite a few rooms, we somehow find ourselves back at the starting point. That's the back rooms. There's some small detail difference between each room that help tell them apart. It's able to tell which is which unless we look really hard at every detail. Where are we now? I don't know. Lost? The kitchen? Question mark? How do you know that? I've been here before. Someone ghosted me after promising to watch Fixer clips together, so I thought I'd come visit. It's someone y'all have met too, I think. It was, must have been another one who was severed by the Ari Shiki. Damn, you might be right. His name was Ren, the Pinky Nurse, a Pinky Apprentice. TikTok, but no one else here really seemed to have anything to say to that. I suppose that only makes sense after all. Existence registered to no one but here but me. We could summon Pinky Apprentice Sinclair. So when you said bag of cakewalk that you cooked before, you were talking about this? Yup. I used to perform intense culinary artistry in here. Your scabbard's shaking. Their views were glowing. One of them was yum, meaning, yeah, unbelievably mouth-watering. The scabbard, Arya, was defiantly shaking from side to side in a valiant effort to deny Ryoshi's claim. It must have been pretty damn bad. I'm having a hard time believing her if you ask me. What do you usually make? Box lunch. Box lunch that kids might bring to grade school with sausage cut like octopuses and tamagoyaki. A bit simple to be intense culinary artistry, don't you think? At IF. Didn't you know? There's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. I wouldn't know. So I want octopus sausage, tamagoyaki, and why are we making sausages out of an octopus? No. I mean the sausage is cut like octopuses. And why are we cutting sausages into octopus shapes? Cause it's adorbs. That's why. Something like this. What is that? Sausage carved into an octopus. Didn't miss a single suction cup. Come on, I didn't mean a real life octopus. It's gotta be adorbs, okay? Isn't all the SD once it's down like so what's important? There's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. I guess it's true. What IDU, huh? You're doing your weird acronyms again, aren't you? It means I don't understand. That's when you say I don't know. Shaking my head. That must have been some of the happiest memories Ryoshi and Arya shared. That's a cool design of that knife. I'm looking at it. The center's me and Arya, even as a scabbard, couldn't imagine her calm and full. But for Ryoshi, the most important part of those memories remains sliced away. Still, if we continue to piece more and more of her memories together by going over these places, do you want to check out what's upstairs too? Man, they really did do Heathcliff early, huh? Like, as soon as I asked, however, the sender's footsteps came to a simultaneous stop. Wait. Hang on, Clockhead. Don't open the door just yet. I looked back and found Kira and Heathcliff poised to fight, hands on their weapons. This way, manager. And Marcel, who realized what that indicated, yanked me to the back of the line. And in mere moments... So there was someone guiding those whelps. Figures they'd send more than the fodder to the House of Spiders. Stinks of wet dog. Causing a massive paw slashed through where we had just been standing. Wolf mask? It really is, as Maestro Emile Bonit said, this place is already occupied. If you'd be so kind as to help me with directions. Is this where Master Callisto's art is located? The question came from a woman who appeared from one of the doors that led to a different corridor. She was wearing a wolf mask, and unlike the Fosses we had encountered thus far, she seemed to make it a point to speak and act with decorum. With a subtle hint of violence in her voice quickly betrayed the air of Fox civility. Sure, you got the right address, lady. Robo-Unk's stuff ain't in this part of the house. On a different corridor. Yes, I am aware. But I'm not here looking for his creations, which are easily mistaken for mass-produced garbage. I could feel her intense gaze, even though her face was obscured by the mask. And there was no doubt that her eyes were bearing down on Ryoshi. Suddenly, I was reminded of what Rain said in the moments before he fled to the corridor. We let them observe us too freely. What? What is that? The Fosses got to confirm a lot of important intel, including the fact that the House of Spiders has fallen and that Ryoshi currently has possession of the Aria Shikai. They want Ryoshi for themselves, whether she's completed or not. Ryoshi as she is now. Isn't that intriguing for once? My name is Rufo. Rufo. Yoshida, the blade coveted by the Five Fingers, Master Collecto's final and posthumous masterpiece. As a docent of Fossism, please allow me the honor of escorting you to our gallery. Do I want to? Don't see the point in hanging out with people in those unesthetic art museums. Got that one. I hope it was art museums. As expected, Ryoshi requested the curtain replied. And Aria 2 rattled angrily in Docent's general direction. And I'm afraid the only remaining option is to rely on our usual methods of ushering. How are odds? I don't know, she's probably tougher than me at my maxed out stats. That's not good, Kier. Really? The shape of her ring suggests that she is a docent of the school of Fossism. Her position is comparable to that of a capo of the thumb or a big sibling of the middle. The docent? Docent? Verily, the maketh of her foe who made Renasper Carter's strength, or the signature that she's anywhere near as strong as Lei Hang. What are we power scaling off of this one? Our chances are HOHOM, half or more. I like those odds. Half or more. Dude, really? Outmodded has been. Why seek out the art of a has-been after all this time? The decision met with much confusion from the outset. To entrust such a momentous project in the hands of such as Callisto, why, everyone agrees that there's no less foolish than casting a pearl before swine. And they were quite on point with that assessment. His Orvu, I don't know, recovered from the house were more tools than art, a sort that the likes of workshop maestros might appreciate. No such self-respecting maestro would create such mundanities and call them art. Now I must ask for your forgiveness for presuming that you would be no different from the rest of his work. But what I observed about this room completely changed my perspective. The scorched corridor, the ferocity with which you scarred the walls and the floor as though a frenzied beast had torn through them. There's but one tool that could possibly have left such marks behind. At least you've got a passable eye for art. Yoshida, I ask you, have you ever considered pursuing art of a further elevated beauty? It'll be an experience that departs from the dilapidated remnants that dub itself corpus of a movement so constrained by its obsession over the human corpus that once it had depleted all meaning it had to offer, it began piling on empty definitions onto itself. Fossism is a movement that is broken from the traditional mode, unfettered like a beast that roams free. We dare ourselves to ask questions that challenge the mind. What is man? What are things? What does it mean to trace the origin? How do we define that which we call a lafu, a wild beast? These are the subject matters that have led us to Fossism in the field of fertile creativity. Should you, a wielder of that relic, enter the fold of our movement, it will layer your work with such an unrelenting spectrum of colors that it will be destined to leave an unforgettable impression in the annals of history. In other words, what we can offer you will be much greater worth than what you may have learned from a teacher like Callisto. Never considered him my teacher, not a real one anyway. Finding beauty among carnage of blood and flesh is a lesson I learned on my own. And yes, I know enough about your movement. Maybe I consider some of the works created by your school acceptable, at least among the rings art, or not, I can't remember. Then, will you? But I don't know. I don't know what makes your art more elevated than the one I pursue. The one you pursue? Didn't the site you claim to have seen clue you in? Oh, it did. I do understand. Your art may appear to be no more than unchecked chaos at a glance, but upon closer observation, it reveals a fierce, dominant force that threads the entire scene together with its keenness as the connecting suture. Your blade work too shows such multi-layeredness. Mere keenness often entails mundanity. You have transcended such a limit by scorching the tail of each end of this slash truly unique aesthetic sense. I believe I've sufficiently understood the full extent of the artistic merit imbued in that scene. No, you didn't. Lesser painters like you are such mediocrities that they fail to recognize the beauty that lies in the grotesque. They do little beyond painting the hell reflected in their eyes and call that shallowness hell's beauty. The sorrow condensed into a cry held in an instant, wrath and bound from the yoke of reason, the fading gleam of despair in the hue. You've given no thought to what each of those emotions signify, instead obsessing over the curacy qualities of what is beheld. Let me teach you otherwise. Oh my goodness, we're getting a whole art lesson. Pay attention because I want to forge you another long-winded lesson. Ryoshi readied her scabbard. Pointillism, Bosses, Supremacists, Ball Reiters, Cubists. I visited my share of ring galleries, heard their commentaries, but none of them were to my liking. Your art is overcomplicated piles of definition buried under symbols caked in patchworks of empty shells. You and your art both talk too damn much. Dang. Just like Callisto kept trying to take from other movements, forcing meaning where there was none. Excess is easy. Anyone can do it. What's beyond most is making it the art of abbreviation. Alas, if all is one by one abbreviated way, nothing remains in its absence, making the void left behind completely bereft of meaning. No, the void is what remains, and it holds things that cannot be found anywhere else. What is this, a minimalist manifesto? No, my aesthetic go beyond the pure pursuit of simplicity. I pursue the natural germination of artistic immaculating, a state of perfection wherein further abbreviation is a possibility. Sangaria. A bit abstract, isn't it? Too removed, too plain, with a distinct lack of any meaningful striking qualities. What exactly is it that elevates your art above the Fosses? Of Fosses? Painters. With a stubborn sort that mere words can't convince. Indeed, there's no discipline more subjective than that of art. Discourse concerning its nature may extend for days on end, but it will not change the fact that unseen arts are meaningless, pretentious illusions at the end of the day. And I suppose I'll have to carve it right into your eyes. Please do, though I'm afraid it may be overshadowed by the sheer vibrancy of my aesthetics. I, a docent of lay Fossism, shall personally welcome you to my critique sessions. Okay, alright. I'm pretty sure I pronounced her title wrong each time, but you know what? It'd be like that. Why are we slanted like this?
물론 좋은 성과를 갖고
I just gotta make sure we don't lose a clash again.
달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지.
전부 쳐주게!
나가서 싸워. 누가 봐주지?
All the girls are going at it.
어중간한 예술을 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
옳다.
Heathcliff, roll aheads. Thank you. She called your art trash. You gotta get in there.
예술적이네요.
Oh, she can just unstagger them. That's concerning. Make sure everyone does at least clash. She's gonna win her
어디에서도
clash.
볼 수 없을 색채로.
That's fine.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Heathcliff's generally single heads. He got a higher chance to. He said no. Oh.
이 정도쯤은.
I've heard so little coin head flips.
개인적으로
That's like, it's ridiculous.
임파스터.
자, 봐라. 아까부터
Okay, so yeah, she just
해본다.
I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to read what was going on first.
뭐가지부터 다시 해보는 것이 낫겠냐.
I now have no idea.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Like, I meant to read that first. That was a misclick. Alright, let's see if I can recover.
한 방 제대로 먹었군. 너희 그 재밌는 상대를 만났어.
보여드려야겠군요. 외면의 예술을.
고작 이 정도로 쓰러지는 녀석은 없겠지. 중지를 공격한다는 게 어떤 뜻인지 보여줘야 하지 않겠냐?
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
Didn't really single heads on that.
이제도 반드시 되찾을 거다.
그러지. 그것은 그 짝에 갖다 써야지. 별로 어려울
아이씨,
수 없잖아.
짜증나게.
퇴장 시간이 되었다. 그럼 안녕히.
그래. 딱 반쯤
저의
죽여버려.
영감을 일깨워 주신
13도
자.
2항에 맞추려.
내가
그게
공격하는
대결이다.
애장품. 특별히 보여줄게.
Okay, that was mine. That was mine going crazy. I thought it was her for a second, and I was like, that's not good.
일리 있는 의견.
신체파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이란다.
저희 뼈를 살간해도 네. 나쁘지 않아요.
아! 몰랐네. 근데 괜찮아. 그만치 할 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀
거기서
하지 그랬냐?
지켜보시죠.
여기 피었잖아.
미워하군.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
You are worthy of the privilege to behold my prize needlework.
옛날에 외부 강선을 끼던 것이 생각나네.
What we just do out here, you know?
한 놈만 잡아주라겠던데. 일자를 다 쓸어버렸던 놈이 있었지.
Really? Nothing, Ishmael? Okay, well at least if she hits Heathcliff. Then, like... See, like, she didn't...
점 찍었네. 한 사람의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가
나라도 그렇게 했어야지. 이만한 분명
일수지 가져갈래요.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Uses her exact move against her.
나쁘지 않고.
Yeah, man, 8 protection. I love to see it.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
I think he still dies.
작품을 만들다 죽을 수 있다니 그야말로 이상적.
내가 찾은 나만의 항해 방식.
방금의 공격 혹시 그 자체였다.
He could have done that, though.
수감자를
I did put back
고깃조각으로
a Venus
만들어
on. Oh,
봐야
thank goodness. I might have lost this fight if I didn't.
시계를 돌리는 일에 너무
Really? That's a
익숙해진
struggle?
것 아닙니까?
The music's really good.
감상은 어떤가요?
I had to believe in buffed up boss could do it.
저희 뼈를 그려잡고 저의 살로 채워넣는 외면의 예술.
이거 당연히 그 식으로 해야지. 그런
아이씨,
것은
짜증나게.
딱 보면 뭘 써야 하는지 딱 느낌이 오잖아.
This thing broke too. Like it was unblockable. Someone blinks first.
40. 먹지.
should let her get some SP first. So now Yearning Mercedes is gonna be like nothing. And it already was competing against like what, 4 protection? Yeah.
그렇게 후회를 피어나고
Set up. I forgot Kira was here.
바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩.
아픔이다 난. 슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝나버리는 게 좋겠어.
Okay, might be dead. So I don't think we have a stagger bar anywhere. What's the conditions? So it looks like she's gonna tank someone's SP. Still putting out hopeless. And it's implying we have something that's gonna lower it. Second Desire might be able to do it. Especially if we boost it up here.
나가서 싸워. 뒤는 내가 봐주지.
아름다운 춤을 추는 건 나뿐이어야 해. 그러니 네 발목을 잘라버리면
아이씨, 짜증나게.
무기를 만드는 것만큼 내가 어버이보다 뛰어나지.
아, 한 대 패야도 되지? 말 안 해도 알아서 잘하구만.
Does he have bleed on him? He has 7 bleed men. He's literally not making it.
나가서 싸워. 뒤는 내가 봐주지.
일사지 가져갈래요.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
꿀을 건드렸겠다.
Okay, I know she just did it, but like...
이번 소재는 거기보다 상했네.
산소류 경혈 온 라샹. 끝을 낼 시간이다.
They didn't roll like any heads, man.
상처다.
이만큼은 배웠으니까 지는
It looks like something I could do anything about.
모든 업은 다시 돌아와. 네 머리 위에 내려질 것이다.
This is just SP healing pretty much. Pretty sure it's healing.
Really? She
아직도
corroded?
심심하네. 어쩌겠냐?
Of course she targets.
조심하라 해도 저라고 나 잡아줘 뒤져부터 남은 동백비 잘해봐.
He's at least hitting. Who are you hitting? Faust and Harmony isn't great.
감상은 어떤가요?
아이, 짜증나게.
Yeah, I love that you managed to pull that one off too. It's daunting.
상정외의 공격이었으니 이것까지 당신 탓을 할 순 없겠군요.
Don, you can't kill the team.
알고
Let him
먹게
die.
하진 않았을 테니.
Oak is still here.
나쁘지 않고.
관람객분들께 더 이상의 주태를 보일 순 없죠.
이건 불찰이구나.
간이 보존 붕대로 감아두지.
I mean, she's literally still the best bet for her to work out. No one else is even like in contention, really. The answer is no. I could not recover from that one bad cover.
완마
저를
He's alive.
제대로 한 방 먹어보시오.
Kira's still here.
이 새끼는 내가
아,
직접 한번 진득하니 맛배야 하는데.
Alright, literally my best bet right now. She's got so much bleeds. Literally.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없어. 벌써부터 작품에 프리미엄 붙일 생각 없었는데.
바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩! 아이씨, 짜증나게.
Alright. Chance we make it. It's possible. Especially if all her attacks are aimed at Gregor. Yeah, no, we need Kira. Oh my goodness. We're gonna get a turn?
간이 보존 붕대로
Yeah,
감아두지.
this is the most important turn ever. Because literally,
죄인인가?
literally just about dealing damage to her.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
이제 공주님에서
바이올렛 브레이크 슬랩!
Oh my goodness, we could do it. Maybe. She got enough bleed to kill herself. We just have to survive long enough for her to bleed out. It's just that easy. It's just that easy.
너른 것 같은 게
It's simply just that easy.
들어가자. 고생되었다.
It's simply just that easy. It turns out
약지에
you
감긴
can
세
recover
바퀴의
from one
반지는
bad turn.
마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을
Almost did.
뜻하죠.
Almost didn't.
비록
I gotta go back.
지금 제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
Alright, I'm back after definitely holding it together and having no issues in that boss fight. It was just really easy, actually. See? You look much better with those superficial... super... I already answered that. Dang. Down upon the door we entered through instead. Oh. It's by time. 4. Mid-sentence, suddenly went limp like a marionette whose strings were cut. Oh, the Wendigo guy must be showing up. I'll make my family video. No, we literally only won because she was here. Overconfidence was a slow and insidious killer. I want to finish eating my sentence, so this one isn't getting getting yapped on. I apologize, but also I finished the sandwich. I thought that's what she did. From somebody just gonna cut the door, right? Also, everyone starves to death. All know that's a lie. Bro, like, you don't have to make cuts and heat all the time. That's just not necessary. We have a fun back too. This is unnecessary. I mean, it wouldn't be too. Also, wait, hold on. I have to pause this for a second. You have to go back up for a little bit. Where Ishmael says, we're good to go for at least 3 days, thanks to Roja. So what? I didn't bring any snacks. What do you mean? That she brings at least 3 days worth of snacks. Mind you, it's not 3 days worth of snacks for her. No, it's 3 days worth of snacks, enough for everyone to have 3 days worth of snacks. I know you could ration it. I have no doubt. But like, the radio doesn't work. There are thousands of them. Well, yeah, Sinclair, they're all gonna loop back here. Okay, but we're dead meat if that brick wall of a maestro wanders right into this room. The wolf lady's last words. Man, I'm seeing the flags. She knows about red flags. She would have been so useful in Kanto 1. It's a hella risky move, yeah, but I think Yoshida and her OP sword is our best bet. Lucky they find us in a day or two. Quit freaking out, Heathcliff. Wow, she used his real name. It'll only be forgotten, not lost. Well, good memories don't tend to last very long. It's been a fun excursion, Clock. They put this up as such a big bait. Like, she's gonna leave again. I looked towards the scabbard. Better eyes did here, but it remains still. The white blade soon reveals itself. And cuts across the wall where the door used to be. And naturally, as Ariyashika's blade cleaves through the wall, so does it Ryoshi's memories. Ah, we're really getting somewhere. Then strands of Arya's image, which had just begun to coalesce, slowly unraveled and fell apart once again. Even still, Arya released the blade without hesitation. But that's okay. We'll try again, so... Conveying no resentment, no hatred, but a few words of consolation. Don't feel too bad. As her voice faded into the gentle dark with Ryoshi's memories. That's unfortunate. So I guess can this be like the running bit of every interval? Like, we're slowly piecing her back together, and then we get like the, oh no, she has to use her sword, and then she cuts, and then we have to go like, oh man, she's forgot everything again. Arya's just like getting slowly more angry and angrier. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much it took. We're gonna be running them NDs. I need to get ready for Ricardo Cliff. Ah, welcome back. Hey, Alan. Question. What exactly was the point of verifying every back door within the House of Spiders? Oh, Hoffman didn't fill you in? No, we usually don't get filled in. Any information regarding these doors holds an enormous value for us, not to mention the higher-ups requesting us to reorganize the House of Spiders into a base of operations as soon as possible, even if we had to rush our work a little. Oh. Only speculating here, but I'm quite convinced that they're preparing for a conflict of sorts. These little pockets of absolute safety are extremely valuable during these operations, as you already know. Wait, stop right there. What conflict? What operation? Are you saying that your bosses are preparing for a war or something? Yeah. Spoke War 2. I just feel like there isn't enough alarm in his voice, considering what he's saying, what he's preparing for what. Not even trying to hide it anymore, huh? But we know that Wayfarer Corp's gonna try and take over W Corp. Did I say something wrong? Must you ask to know? Ah, I thought everyone already knew. I mean, it's an open secret at this point. All Corp has already fallen. W Corp is teetering on the brink of collapse. You call us the aspirant W Corp, we call Limbus Corp the aspirant L Corp, meaning we have a shared goal. But unlike the dead and gone L Corp, the current W Corp is still kicking, despite its rapid decline in recent years. And as we all know, companies in the city aren't worth much unless they've got the military force to back them up. Oh yeah, we're getting ready. The Smoke War 2. It's only natural that a business conflict would lead to a physical one as well. This is just a mere team leader speaking though. Who knows what the higher-ups in our companies are thinking. Either way, much fruitful collaboration was had today. This will reflect pretty well in our performance metrics, and we didn't even suffer that many losses. I can safely say that you should expect a positive review from us regarding this collaboration. Oh yeah, he's all business. After saying our farewells to Alan, we return to the forward base and share with Hoffenheim everything that had happened so far. Hoffenheim and Foss both did not seem willing to discuss the subject of the looming conflict. Yeah, I'm surprised. So we instead decided to have Ryoshi's memory and sword re-examined. Boy, Hoffenheim, results out yet? Not yet, assistant. I clearly remember telling you 3 minutes ago that it would take about 20 or more minutes. Have you forgotten already? He's just nervous, okay? Give him some break. He talks too much. Ryoshi sounded irritated as she scolded Heathcliff, but I could sense a definite undercut of anxiety from the way she kept puffing her cigarettes to a stub at increasingly shorter intervals. This room might be more smoke than oxygen at this point. Mine slowing down a tad, you're practically fumigating the room with cigarette smoke. Then speed up glasses, gonna bounce as soon as I hear the results. Both of you need to learn to respect that things take time. Yes, time is indeed relative, but the fact that I've managed to complete an in-depth analysis on items of such mystery in a single day is an incredibly fast turnaround and therefore deserves your appreciation. You're right. Okay, I've been attempting to rein in more self-indulgent part of myself as of late, but I believe this achievement deserves to be elaborated upon. It's evident truth that results could not have been replicable had it not been for my genius brain. Go out to the hallways and grab any passing researchers and tell them about my incredible turnaround time. You'll hear them say, "Whoa, done already?" And to that, I will answer, "Shut the fuck up, please." Evidently tired of the two sinners alternating turns hounding him for results, Hoffenheim seemed to speed up the analysis and managed to hit the finish line much earlier than 20 minutes. Wow. Whoa. Done already? Yes. There are times when test results are exacted earlier than the predicted time frame. Many of those instances are easily attributable to my genius at work. Well, lad, then why aren't you saying anything? Give me the test results now. You did tell me to shut the fuck up, so I'm attempting to observe the exact merits of doing precisely that. Haha, you think Yoshida would ever use known acronyms straight? What if it's something like, "Sheesh, that's a full day. Unwind after work, though." And your verdict on her interpretation? That is exactly what I meant. She's better than MTL in some ways. How she lies as she breathes. At that moment, I might have caught a glimpse of the scabbard rattling slightly atop the examination device. Almost as though it were giggling. Very well then, I'll get right into it. First, the memory of the time she was complimented for her cooking has been erased. Huh? That's it? Hardly. Second, a name has been erased from her memory. you recall the name of the man who works with manager Saudi? Ooh, Effie. I'd have asked in the past tense had it been him who I was referring to. Pilot? She doesn't remember Pilot. She forgot Pilot's name. Among other miscellaneous Delia memories are 172 hours of Don Quixote tales of adventures and the types of food she fed to a seagull. Okay, I gotta take a screenshot of that one. V upon it! does say that memories most precious to young Ryoshi V have been thrown into utter destruction. It's okay, Don. She's got another 172 hours of space opened up. Look down here. I'm not trying to be mean here, but it seemed pretty acceptable, doesn't it? The price of unsheathing a sword like that. If we're going by sheer volume, I wouldn't quite say its mileage is acceptable. There are several days worth of memories just for a single swing, didn't it? I mean, yeah, but they kind of sound like inconsequential memories, don't they? Greg and Heath forgot stuff all the time. How's this any different? The seemingly inconsequential nature of these particular memories weren't achieved by sheer luck. In fact, it seems to have been impacted by the scabbard of the Arya Sheikah, or to be more precisely, the power of Arya's ego. That's so. Ryoshi looked down at the scabbard with an uncertain, hollow look in her eyes. All that remains of Arya and Ryoshi's recollection is a blank space where the fragments of her existence used to be, severed and removed again. And it takes a rather significant amount of time. The scabbard seems to be, yes, capable of selecting which of Senna Ryoshi's memories are to be erased, as a cost of using Arya Sheikah. Okay. Sounds like I should be grateful then. But Ryoshi regards the scabbard with a conflicted look, as though to approximate the outlines of the void she left behind. So it's got like a cooldown timer. She can use it whenever, as long as she gives it time to select the trivial memories. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss them as trivial. The memory of the time when you were complimented for your cooking, it was quite a precious memory, wasn't it? You performed an inverse calculation of the relic's costs. Yes, according to our measurements, the sword seems to factor in the weight of each memory when calculating the cost of wielding it. It's rather clear that it takes more than light memories to properly wield it. So have her memories been restored? As presumed, attempts to recall the erased being's existence have resulted in failure. That is quite discouraging. But all is lost. Okay? Simply by knowing that something used to be in that negative space. Many things can still be reminisced upon. Like Ryoshi said, forgotten but not lost. Clock. Like, we cut to Heathcliff again. You just step foot into a world of Sangria. She flashes the briefest of smiles, then scatters it with a plume of cigarette smoke. Collecting the GB will restore it. What used to be here and the pockets of void in my heart, my one and only. Ryoshi's gaze traced the invisible, the unperceivable. A few more days passed us by. We didn't spend those days idling. We visited Saudi and Pilot in recovery, did a few odd jobs here and there, like supporting a distortion containment breach caused by a new LCE hire. With all the loose threads tied up, we managed to finally, after so long, head back to H Corp. Kind of feels like Rome again. Return to the bus. That's in H Corp. Bus, sweet bus. The chairs could use a little bit more cushioning, but there's anything like it out there. Damn, this is your ride? Hella badass. The smile on her face. Hey. Between the two individuals who were looking rather pleased at Kira's astonishment,
Hoffenheim squeezed through to warn us about some things to watch out for. Is she coming with us? I asked Team Leader Island to set the coordinates somewhere as close as possible to the nest. Keep driving through the door and it will bring you to an empty spot on a highway in H Corp. Don't hesitate or hit the brakes, because if by any chance there is a car driving behind you, it will crash into the bus and the bus will win. Nods. So, what are you two doing on here on the bus? And decided to join the better team, did you? I must admit to a certain degree of interest in hearing of your exploits, but to accompany you through them is an entirely different matter, isn't it? I'm only here to adjust your coordinates. Speaking of which, just how did you manage to escape your confinement? I told them I had some stuff to help you with, and they let me out after making me scribble over some docs. Solitary confinement's hella boring, so I thought I might get some air. Might as well say goodbye too while I'm out and about, right? I see. You exploit the fact that the new hires don't have any grudges against you. I thought I told them to impress upon the new hires that prisoners are to be treated as exceptions to the right. The person in charge of that training is currently checked into the long-term recovery ward. More problems stemming from the shortage of manpower. I'd best include this in the report. Sounds like they both here to see us go. It's okay, we're just going back to H Corp. We'll be real close. Well then, time for a valediction, I suppose. Perhaps I've grown far too used to seeing your faces. Saying goodbye doesn't come out as easily as I expected it to. Another day of reunion must await in the future. I would appreciate it if such a reunion had a low probability of occurring. While I am very partial to mathematical statistics like the probability theory, I hope your prediction is dead right. Well then, hey, Yoshida. Yo, Shiade. What? I wouldn't say we're family exactly, but listen, there's a lot of stuff I want to say to you, and a lot of stuff I want to hear from you, okay? So, see you later. Did I do that right? Acronize it into L. Call me Ryoshi, not Yoshida. For the echoes of that name. After round of goodbyes, the two disembarked from the bus, and no sooner had the machinery clicked into place than the bus's wheels finally began to turn back to H Corp, bringing us closer and closer toward the blinding, radiant portal, massive enough to engulf the bus hole, back to H Corp. Well, off to our next destination, I guess. Back to H Corp. Oh, right. Where are we headed to next? Back to H Corp. Dante inquires about the next destination, Virgilius. Back to H Corp, Dante. That's where we're going. Ah, no, that's more like it. It's been too bloody long since I heard that question. Yeah, we're going back to H Corp. Yeah, don't get too excited. Who hasn't answered that question ever last anywhere? That's not downright bizarre. Going back to H Corp. Virgilius gave me a faint, knowing smile, as though to confirm Ishmael's pessimistic remark, and delivered a comment that sounded too lighthearted for its gravity. Downright bizarre, is it? Well, let me just say that it's high time we face such a sight back at H Corp. Our next destination is District 14. It's not H Corp. In other words, Manager Dante, we are en route to N Corp. We are going there after all, in Corp. Plenty of faces there I'd rather not see. In-Corp's gotta have like the most beef with the group, as the rest of the senators voiced their various gripes and discontent with In-Corp. Marisol, who probably had the most amount of history with the wing, simply flipped open his newspaper like usual and began to read it with the same unchanging expression. As though for him, none of this changed anything. We're going back to H Corp. Vroom vroom. Because H Corp is coming. With that, the bus resumed its journey to yet another tale. Back to H Corp. in and full EX clear. Now I've heard some tales about this event in the center here, and I will not be making a video on this, but you'll probably hear me complaining about it next time. These are like, I saw the rewards and I thought like they gotta be better than this. Okay, whatever. I'll do that some other time. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.